We recording?
We are now.
Okay, here it is, 6:15, Thursday, March 28th. As the vice chair, I called this meeting. Unfortunately, with Dana not with the town no longer, he used to do all the notifications and everything, and I have a wrong telephone number for one member. I wasn't able to get in touch with everyone. So we have a quorum with Mr. Lawrence Brown, Stan Nato, and Sean Skillings. First on the agenda would be public comment. Not seeing any. We'll close public comment. Next is election of officers. We need to pick a chair for the incoming year. Any nominations?
Stan Nato.
Yeah, second.
Anyone else offering? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll accept.
Excuse me. The secretary is instructed to cast one unanimous ballot for the office.
Okay,
of the
that sounds
chair.
good. As it is as of tonight, just for the record, we only have 4 members legally because one elected member has not been sworn in yet. So technically, we only have 4 members.
Okay, who has not been sworn?
Mr. Bullo.
Mike is not. Oh, okay.
Now we have to pick a vice chair. I will nominate Larry Brown as a vice chair.
I'll second it.
I accept.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous on the vice chair.
Why, thank you.
Now we're going to, every year we're required by law to review the bylaws. I have put in front of everyone a packet of the bylaws that we are now have voted in last year. It says 2018 edition on them. I think I wanted the new members especially to take a look at them, and for the next meeting, we need to swear them in. But at this meeting, just to make ourselves legal, I would like to make a motion that we accept the 2018 edition as our bylaws to be amended if needed at the next meeting.
Okay, motion by Stan, second by Larry. Discussion.
The discussion, as I said, we're legally bound to address these the first meeting after the election, and this is what we're doing. And this will cover us legally, and if there's any changes, we can change them 12 times a year if we choose to. So right now, people will take a look at them over the next month, and then any changes that they'd like to see, we'll discuss and vote on.
Does that have the chair as parliamentarian?
You know, Larry, I started to read them this morning at work, and I got phone calls after phone calls, and I didn't get to read them.
Oh, okay, no problem.
But anyways, I'm going to take a vote. All in favor of keeping 2018 edition in effect? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, so it's 3-0. That way we're covered by state law. But we'll go over, also, for the record, I put what was given to myself, and I'm sure Larry Brown has these in his possession, but I gave him some things over the years that we received from previous chair, and it's little helpful things to look at and read, and to help us with why we are making decisions and what kind of decision we should be making. So, the other members will get their copies of them also. Before I go too far, I would like to, on the record, I'd like to say that as a chair, I'll feel lucky if I can fill the shoes of Mr. Tabery. He was, in my eyes, one of the best chairmen that this board's seen. He ran a very good ship, and I hope I can do as well as he did, and I want to thank him for his years of service. Also, even though Dana is no longer with the town, I would like to thank her for her time that she spent with us. She did a very good job, extremely good job. And I think she needs recognition of that also. Okay. Discussion approval of minutes. Well, we can't do that because I don't have a copy of the minutes, the last minutes. So.
I moved to table the minutes.
And I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anything else, other business that would come to the board? Anyone would like to discuss? Anything, Sean, that you're not familiar with, that you have any questions on? Or
Did you, who seconded?
on which one?
Table.
I did.
You did, was Stan, okay.
I've kept up on what's been
Okay,
going on in town.
because there's one more thing I want to discuss, and that's a 91A. When I send out an email, or if someone was to send out an email, under no conditions are you to do reply all. It's in violation of the 91A law. I myself personally would like to see everything go strictly to whoever's going to take Dana's place and be our secretary, because that really keeps it simple and clean.
Right.
Yeah, it works for the library.
Yeah.
Betsy is the cutoff.
Yeah, and that way, I'm sure right now I'm going to have to do more so than I'd like to as far as messages and so forth, because we do not have a secretary. But by no means, please, if you're going to reply, you can reply just to me. And nothing to do with an upcoming case or anything.
Right.
It would have to be doing with time of meeting, making sure the meeting is going to be where it is or something of that nature. Nothing to do with any case at all. All right? I'm going to be a stickler about that because, as you know, we had to try Mighty Joe case in front of us, and they have us in court. I represented the board in court. I wasn't asked to say anything, but I was there, and they based their appeal to the judge on certain things, and it was nothing to do with 91A, but I want to make sure it doesn't get to that point.
Right.
So. All right. And I don't know what to tell you about that case because the judge didn't say nothing. He just listened to both sides and said, "I'll tell you when I feel like telling you the answer."
Yeah,
So.
and even just we were having, was it the budget committee? I think it was it was either the budget committee or the planning board had a discussion, and it touched on Mighty Joe, and I said, "Joe recuse."
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We are going to abide by the Roberts rules, and I'll have to go over this with the other members. But as you can see, I don't run a ship where you have to have your hand up, and if you have something to say that's not stepping on someone else's statement, then I have no problem with that. As long as everybody gets a chance to say what they need to say.
that's the reason when we do get that, having the chair as parliamentarian. The latest Robert's Rules has 700 pages, and we should never be in a situation where things have deteriorated so much that somebody is putting an amendment to the amendment, and I call the point of order.
Yeah, we got to. Over the years, I've been on a lot of boards, and I can't count how many times there'd be a motion on the table, then they decide not to
Go with it.
be second, and then have the vote, and then no one takes their motion back. And that's something that we have to pay attention to, because motions have to be withdrawn. They can't sit out there in limbo.
Right.
That's not the way it's done. So anyway, right now I believe we're going to have a case next month, from what I've been told. I don't know nothing about it, really, other than who the possible applicant is. And I have an idea what it's about, but that's just my thoughts. All right. So, Mr. Brown, if you thank you for taking the notes and the minutes, and if you could give them to Brittany, and she's also going to watch this tape so that she can type them up. And in the meantime, I'll get in touch with Kathy and see if she can get in touch with Dana to see where the last minutes are, so we can educate me on this a little bit. Didn't we at the last meeting before the elections? Didn't we have a last meeting to just do the minutes? Didn't Mr. Tabery call a meeting just to do the minutes? Or do we still have minutes from Mighty Joe sitting out there?
She did the final. It was the final summary and decision of the ZBA, which is the last minutes that I remember.
And that's the minutes. We had a meeting because we had to file them with Dover at the Registry of Deeds. So I think the only thing we're going to basically see for minutes is we had a meeting to approve minutes.
Yes.
I think, if I remember correctly. So we'll find out. So it's a little turmoil around here right now without Dana and a few other people. So,
Right.
But we'll right the ship and we'll go forward.
Good.
If no one else has anything else to say, I guess we could entertain a motion to adjourn.
Who would like the honor?
You would.
I would. Oh, okay. I move to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Next meeting will be, everyone will be notified.
Adjourned at
It should be the last
6:20,
Thursday.
6:25.
Thank you, Mr. Carrier.
Oh.